Hi everyone. What I'm going to do in this video is provide a commentary and try to keep it as succinct as possible, measuring my words to focus on the core meaning of our Aristotelian passage, and above all to help you understand the significance of both this passage and this kind of reasoning. Because as I've said throughout the semester, as I'm saying throughout the semester, philosophy is a very unique, very distinctive form of reasoning. It's most certainly not the sort of thing that you encounter here and there, in your daily lives. It's also not the kind of thing you often find in contemporary books and contemporary writing of various sorts. Philosophy has this very long tradition. The tradition itself is very complex because every period in the history of philosophy reflects new developments in science, technology, and so on and so forth. However, the key thing that I want us to see in our class is there is a true unity in philosophical reasoning, and number two, that this is just incredibly important for us in our, today. Okay, so what I want to do is look at our little passage, and it's admittedly very short, from Aristotle. It's from the Physics. There are a few similar passages here and there in Aristotle, but this is the key one. Okay, it's very famous. It's called the theory of the four causes. Now, the thing that I want you to see here is that Aristotle's use of the word cause is different from ours. See, this is something that's very difficult, and it leads for contemporary students, and it leads to misunderstandings because we, in general, have a kind of idée fixe, a going idea of what cause means. The truth of the matter is the idea of cause has a very long history. Now, as I see the clock in front of me ticking, I realize I have to compress this a little bit. So here goes. Aristotle's idea of cause is that there are four different kinds of causes. And let's see, this is very hard for us to understand because we don't see it like that. We don't think in these terms. So let me go through this here. Okay, for Aristotle, there's four kinds of causes. The first kind is called the material cause, and I need some kind of metaphor here. Aristotle always uses the statue, but I don't want to use a statue. Let's do a car, okay, and modernize it a little bit. Okay, so the material cause of the car is the material out of which it's made. That is to say, I don't even know what cars are made out of aluminum, steel, plastic, and who knows what else. Okay, and see, this is where we don't really see the material as the cause. We see it as part of the thing, but we don't see it as causal. Aristotle does. Okay, so that's the ones, the material out of which something is made. Here, do the tie. The material cause of the tie is the cotton or whatever it's made out of. Okay, that's number one. The second kind of cause is probably the hardest to understand, is the formal cause. Okay, and what Aristotle believes is, now sticking with the car here, that there is an essence of a car. There's carness, and I mean he doesn't see that as a thing. He sees it as a kind of concept. He sees it as a concept, though. So a car not only has the material out of which it's made, but it has its carness, its essence, and that's what turns stuff into a car. So that's the second kind of cause, the formal cause. That is to say, its essence. That is to say, what it's supposed to do. Let me put it like that. Okay. The third kind of cause is the efficient cause, and the efficient cause is the activity of the thing. So you've got the material, you've got the essence, the carness in this case. You also have what the car does. Okay, so the car drives, the car turns, the car does all these other things. That's the efficient cause. Now, the third one is the one that I really want us to concentrate on, because that's the one that we really don't see as a cause, and number two, it's very important for us to understand contemporary life. Okay, it's called the final cause. Now, the final cause is just the purpose or the goal. Now, we, of course, have a sense of the purpose or the goal, but we don't see it as a cause. We don't see it like that. Aristotle did. He thinks that things, let me put it like this, whatever there is in the world has a purpose that's built into it. Okay, and this is particular to his form of reasoning. So the purpose of the car is, we'll say, transportation. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is, as you get into this, as you think about this, you can distinguish between good purposes, bad purposes, and sort of prioritize the kinds of purposes. And that's where I think the whole discussion gets very interesting, because so what is the true purpose of the car? Okay, what is the best purpose of the car? Why are there cars? Now, really quickly, because I want to keep the time short and make this easy to load and easy for you to view. This, of course, when we're talking about contemporary events, when we're talking about technology, when we're talking about any political or social situation, this is the whole idea of purpose is really important, especially for things that are new, especially for like technological innovation. I mean, we're comfortable with the material, we're comfortable with the form, we're comfortable with what it does, but what is its true and deepest purpose is something that we're most certainly not at all really comfortable with. We talk about it, we think about it, but we don't see it as like the key question Aristotle did. Why, in the deepest sense, is there this smartphone? Why is there, at its deepest, certain forms of administrative technology? Why, at its deepest, are there forms of educational technology? Okay, you apply this, you can apply the purpose or the final cause to anything, and that's what I want us to do in the class. That's what we are doing in the class. When we look at technology, when we look at globalization, when we look at climate change and climate danger, and environmental change and threat, in every single case, what are we doing? We're looking at the final cause. What is the purpose of this activity, event, or thing, if it's a thing? So that's it. That's what Aristotle and his theory of causes is about. Okay, I want to stop now, so we have this, and it's not too hard for you to review once or twice. Okay, and there'll be a question and answer possibility as well. Okay, let me stop.